Coach Boy Luego.
Idol.
Ako ni gituyo mga higala kining biography. Matud pa, if you want not to be forgotten, as soon as you are dead or rotten, either write things worth reading or do things worth emulating for your family and children, then write it. Domingo alias also known as Boy Luigo, descended from a very poor parents born in a far-flung barangay in Barangay Kanangay in the town of Inupacan. On March 3, 1957, his father, the late Alfredo Luigo or Didong, high school level was only a farmer and tuba gatherer or manananggot o lubi. All throughout of his life, because of his inborn asthma, his father died on July 14, 2005 in Tacloban City. While Boy's mother, the late Sophronia Nini or Runing, an elementary level and a plain housewife, was known to be generous, kind, and loving mother to her 10 children, came from Sitio Batuan, Hindang, Leyte, and died on June 17, 1988 in Barangay Poblacion, Inupacan, Leyte. Her father was the late Sergeant Gregorio Abundo, ESN 156063 Infantry Battalion, turned U.S. citizens of war veteran hero. Boy is the eldest among the family of 9 brothers and 1 sister, namely from eldest Alberto, Edgardo, Judito, Alejandro, Hipolito, Eleuterio, Braulio, and Alfredo Jr., the deceased, and Marivic. Boy is the first grandson of the late Sergeant Gregorio Abundo, a war veteran hero, and the same first grandson of the late spouses Crispolo or Nong Crispol and Erenia or Nang Ining of San Antonio Street, Inupacan, Leyte, where he lived and reared by his grandparents piously, that is daily oration, and took his elementary education in Barangay Marao, grade 1, under the late Ma'am Sophronia Samonte. Then transferred to Tinago Elementary School, grade 2 to grade 3. Then Inupacan Central School, grade 4 to grade 6.
Coach Boy Luego.
Idol.
Boy described himself as a neglected child, being poor, going to school without slippers. He studied hard and finished his elementary education with honors. Because of Boy's desire to continue schooling, he worked in Cebu as houseboy of his uncle while pursuing his secondary education in Abiliana National School, Cebu City from 1970 to 1974. With full of sacrifices, yet Boy belonged to the top 10 honor students from first year to fourth year. Boy experienced working at an early age in working as radio operator at ACL Incorporated, Lahog, Cebu City. Then later transferred to Cebu Autobus Building, B. Rama Avenue, Cebu City, a company owned by Usmeña family. Then later took a vocational course in Cebu Technical School. And a year after, he took and passed the government examination and applied in William Lines Incorporated as radio telephone operator, then accepted for the Diangas, now General Santos assignment, receiving from a minimum pay of 8 pesos a day or 240 pesos a month as his starting salary in 1975. Boy reminisced how he first traveled at an early age of 18, where his uncle prepared a wooden box or caban for his personal belongings and boarded the MB Dumaguete City for General Santos City via Davao, looking for greener pasture, witnessed by his wife. In the Diangas or General Santos, Boy sought the help of Godofredo Torricampo, an employee of Philippine Ports Authority who happened to wear Agnes Tan Semblante, now my wife, is also living a sophomore student in Notre Dame, the Diangas College. After 4 months only of courting, Agnes, we got early married in a civil wedding held in Matutum Hotel on October 22, 1975, with the help of Boy Luigos co-employees named Danilo Tagalogen and Godofredo L. Gran, manager. Boy wondered how and why he easily convinced and decided to marry at an early age in spite of his experience in poverty and hardship in life, looking back to his hometown in Inupacan, Leyte, and the plight of his poor parents and brothers. Boy did not surrender but bravely moved, and he studied nightly in Southern Island College, the Diangas, taking 4-year course college education in accountancy, and motivated by reading a book entitled Law of Success by Napoleon Hill, offered to him by the late Mr. Gran, William Lines manager. Because of Boy's love to his wife, he had first child, Jeffrey, born on June 17, 1976, in General Santos City, yet he continued his nightly schooling until in 1979, where he was promoted and transferred to Zamboanga and work in William Lines Incorporated, Rizal Street, Zamboanga City. They now have 5 children, from eldest Jeffrey, born in General Santos City, Domingo Jr., born in Consolacion, Cebu, Mark Comber, born in Zamboanga City, Rafaelito, born in General Santos City, and one Boy Ayan, the late Boy Ayan, born in Consolacion, Cebu. Because of Boy's workaholic attitude with hard work and determination to excel in life, he was promoted to different positions and worked in different multinational companies, as evidenced by ECC's hard copy printed from June 10, 1975 up to July 11, 1980. Work in William Lines Incorporated. Then August 1, 1980 to January 30, 1983, work as supervisor in Fast Cargo Transport Corporation. In 1983, work as warehouse supervisor in Niagara International Construction. Then March 16, 1983 up to August 19, 1987, work in CFC Corporation owned by Gukungwi Group of Companies. 1989 to 1990, Cardinal Industries. in Mandawi City, Cebu. Then in 1990 to 1992, work in World Express Transport Incorporated. From November 18, 1992 to June 18, 1993, work in Philtires Corporation. Then 1995 to January 15, 1996, work in Nautica Canning Corporation in Tambler, General Santos City. October 15, 1996 to September 30, 1997, work as manager in Mega Power Resource Incorporated. 1999 up to 2003, work as manager through Logistic Corporation. 2003 to 2004, work as branch manager in Victorian Freight Express. 2005, work as general manager in Speedpax Logistic Incorporated. 2007, work as branch manager in Extreme Cargo Logistics. 2008, work as insurance consultant, Time Republic Insurance, owned by Uano family in Mandawi City. Up to 2009, work as manager in B2B Cargo Care Corporation.
Coach Boy Luego.
Idol.
While in Zamboanga, Boy intently called the two Mormon missionary to visit his family and learn the teaching of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. For a purpose of helping Boy's wife, character noted of being nagger, until both husband and wife baptized in Pasunangka River in Santa Maria, Zamboanga City on April 15, 1979 by two missionaries named Elder George Ernest Comber and Elder Domingo. Boy was blessed while he worked as operation supervisor of Fast Cargo Transport Corporation. He also worked then in William Lines as utility clerk and was able to have his own house in Santa Maria, Zamboanga City, but later sold to a friend when transferred to Tacloban City. In 1983, from Tacloban, Boy was recalled back to Cebu and continually worked in Fast Cargo Transport Corporation as collection supervisor, where he had chance enrolled and studied in University of Visayas, Cebu City, taking AB English in spite of financial difficulty. In the following year, Boy resigned from his work and went to Manila relative to his work application for abroad per passport number 397427. And his wife worked as a lavandera in Pasig Metro, Manila. Not lucky enough, Boy's ambition to work abroad failed because of huge placement fees. Instead, he applied, accepted in CFC Corporation as radio operator and later reassigned in Cagayan de Oro as warehouse supervisor. Handled three divisions: CFC Corporation, URC Corporation, and HUR Corporation. Out of discouragement of Boy's plan to work abroad, he used the 5,000 pesos from his mother-in-law and created the D. Luigo Enterprises in Santa Misa, Metro Manila for his first soap repacking business. Boy repacking business has folded in when his mother died in 1988 in Inupacan, Leyte, and decided to went home together with his family in his hometown in Inupacan, Leyte. In Leyte, he experienced severe financial difficulty, thus he sought refuge from his brother Eli Luigo in Tacloban City and worked as PUG driver selling cosmetics product. In 1989, Boy and his family moved back to Cebu and live in Gunob, Lapu-Lapu City and work in Cardinal Industry. Not contented of his meager income, Boy accepted the World Express Transport Corporation and assigned back to Cagayan de Oro as branch manager until May 31, 1992. While in Cagayan de Oro, Boy revived his Diloyco Enterprises and ventured in the processing of instant salabat, tea making under the support of Department of Science and Technology and hagdan sa Pag-Uswag Foundation of Cooperative. In 1992, not contented again of the income as an entrepreneur, Boy worked back as an employee of Phil Tires Corporation, then to Dynamic Tire Incorporated from November 18, 1992 to September 30, 1994. Equipped by his hard-learned academic knowledge in writing from his 2-year in AB English at University of the Visayas, and armed by Boy's principle that with God nothing is impossible, he ventured in the publication of local magazine, the Life and Career Journal magazine, turned tabloid in Cagayan de Oro. At first, he was severely criticized by his own family of having organized the LCG Publishing Company.
Boy Luego.
Idol.
SIC registration number HP 000002 as Boy little contribution in the field of journalism.
Boy Luego.
Idol.
In his extra time while working, he worked as field reporter of DXMO under the late anchorman Maki Roluna. Then he was elected vice president for print of the PNP Press Corps in Cagayan de Oro City.
Boy Luego.
Idol.
In his hard struggle for life, Boy was able to have built his own house in Upper Carmen, Cagayan de Oro City, then elected president of the Upper Carmen Home Neighborhood Association. By call of time, when his mother-in-law died, Boy and his family moved back again to General Santos and experienced severe financial difficulty and experienced driving with a motorcycle. With a tricycle, selling comics, then later applied and accepted as field reporter of DXGS radio station, then revived and published his local tabloid, the Mindanao Life and Career Journal, by weekly publication.
Boy Luego.
Idol.
While in his journalistic activity, Boy had chance talking and interviewed Nor Mishwari of the MNLF and mingled different government officials in the city of General Santos. Because of Boy unstoppable searching for greener pasture, he was applied at and accepted in Nautica Canning Corporation as Management Inventory Supervisor of Tumbler, General Santos City. Then later resigned because of work pressure in the plant with about 100 workers. Boy again applied and worked in Mega Power Resource Incorporated as branch manager until the company dissolved. Then in 1998, Boy and his family decided to move back to Consolacion, Cebu. In 1998, brought with them all their personal belongings, example, car, appliances, dogs, pets. Boy started again a new environment where he converted his closed van into PUG Flying Consolacion Ayala Road, LTFRB franchise registered. For almost 2 years, the price of gasoline at that time was 11 pesos and 35 pesos per liter yet. Equipped by his little training in journalism while in Mindanao, Boy acted as attorney in fact in a civil case filed by his father-in-law, but turned dismissed without prejudice by court. When his father-in-law died, Boy took over the case and filed motions and petitions before Branch 55 Regional Trial Court, Mandawi City. As a non-lawyer, Boy studied hard in court ruling on both book entitled Rules of Court, Book in the Philippines, Legal Form, Civil Code of the Philippines, the People's Constitutional and Statutory Rights, Concise Law Dictionary, and guided by self-study, Boy acted as attorney in fact and represented as lawyer of the complainants, a relative of his wife, against Real Mikami, the late Real Mikami, columnist of Sangstar newspaper in Cebu. While said case pending in court, Boy decided to work back for his family and applied, accepted in True Logistic Corporation and assigned in Iloilo City as branch manager October 25, 1999 up to 2003. Date and places of Boy Luigo and family: Inupacan, Leyte, 1957 to 1970. Cebu, 1970 to 1975. G. Imbasa Street, Katipunan, Labangon, Dihok, Casalim Street, Cebu City. Then in General Santos City, 1975 to 1979. Papaya Street, where met his wife. North Laurel Street, First Road, Kalumpang, Macar, General Santos City. Then Zamboanga, 1979 up to 1980. Canilar, Santa Maria, able to build own house. Then in Tacloban City, 1980 to 1982. Live in housing, B&G subdivision, and Anibong. While in Cebu, 1982, Nangka, Consolacion. Then live in Tipolo, Mandawi. Then up to Magbulo, Cebu City. Boy lived in Manila 1982 to 1983 at Dr. Sixto Avenue, Pasig, din Santa Misa, din Tansa, Nabutas. Din Bac, Cagayan de Oro 1983 to 1987, Piaping Puti, Makabalan, din Puntod, din Upper Carmen. While back in Manila 1987 to 1988, live in Tansa, Nabutas. Then back to Inupacan, Leyte 1989, back to Cebu 1990, live in Gunog, Lapu-Lapu, Basak, Lapu-Lapu City. Then move again to Cagayan de Oro 1992-1994 in Corrales Extension, Consolacion, Upper Carmen. Built his own house. Then back to General Santos City 1993 to 1997. Live in First Road, Kalumpang, White House at Bihag Residence, Ibag Residence. Back to Cebu, live in Purok Nangka, Consolacion 1997-1999. Then moved to Iloilo 1999-2003. Then Cebu 2003 up to the present. Built his own house in Purokwan, Barangay Nangka, Consolacion, Cebu. Life-threatening Boy Luigo in June 2000 while Boy worked hard with True Logistics Corporation as manager. He sometimes went home in Cebu because of his acquired house and lot in Consolacion, Cebu. While supervising the construction of his house, Boy experienced hard breath in Cebu till he boarded MB Transition, arrived Iloilo 6 o'clock in the morning, where he was immediately rushed to Western Visayas Hospital, Iloilo City, due to diagnosed heart attack and confined in ICU for 15 days at a 50-50 chance of survival. Because of his strong faith in God, he managed to survive perhaps of the unexpected gift from God. A baby girl named Maria Simbelin or Silent came into his family at 2-month-old, thus gave Boy's inspiration to live.
Coach Boy Luigo.
Idol.
Extracurricular activities of Boy Luigo. Boy was continually employed in Pro Logistics Corporation, and in his free time he still managed to write an article for his column, being a columnist, The Life Paradigm, weekly in the News Today newspaper, a local tabloid in Iloilo City, for over a year. Boy was elected president of Parents Association of Cabalom Western College in 2002 and 2003. Elected Vice President of PTCA Halanduni Memorial High School, Iloilo City, 2001 to 2002. Back to Mandawi, Boy was also former member of Cebu Chamber of Commerce in March 22, 2006. Paralegal activities in Civil Case 3133, Boy remembered an incident where he was reprimanded by former Judge Ulrich Cañete, Branch 55, Regional Trial Court, Mandawi City, when Boy represented himself as the paralegal of the complainants. Most of them are relatives of his wife. His name was even dragged and published by Rail Mikami, a columnist of Sunstar newspaper, in March 3 and 19, when he exposed irregularities of inherited land sharing of his wife relatives. Boy also handled the civil case pertaining to lot matters of their parents and relatives in Inupacan and in Opon, Lapu-Lapu City.
Notes Boy Luego.
Idol.
In Consolacion, Cebu, Boy and his family decided to move back in Consolacion to concentrate on their acquired house and lot, and decided to work, thus accepted in Victorian Freight Express Corporation, Mandawi City, October 3 to October 2003 to March 15, 2000 Prof. With proof of employment, ECC's employment record, latter joined in Speedpack Logistics with proof of employment, and Extreme Cargo Logistics, and organizer with proof of employment. He also had a chance working with a known family in Mandawi City, the former Mayor T.D. Uwano. As consultant of the time Republic Insurance for 6 months, then later worked in Lacto Pafi Foundation as salesman with proof of employment but no SSS record.
Notes Boy Luego.
And continuation mga higala, makato ang biography ni Domingo Luigo, kining inyong ubos nga igsuon, unya ang uban wala na ko masulat. Ang tod nga mibalik kita sa media, first media nato sa pagduol, nahimo kitang trainer sa Skygo Motor Corporation din at the time. I work with Roger Simafranca ug nahimo kitang co-commentator sa DY AR Sunshine Radio sa dito pa sa Diho Kasolim Street, Cebu City ang ilang opisina.
Boy Luego.
Idol.
Then later moved to DYLA, usa ka AM radio station, uban kang Attorney Vincent Esles, then back to DYKC. Yan, namugna mga igala kining atong patented intro and extra.
Everyone has the right to freedom to build opinions and expressions. Barugaran sa interactive o expose na programa.
Mao kato ang tingog ni June Tagalog, manager sa DYLA Radio mga igala, ug dayon mi balik kita sa DYAR Sunshine Radio diri na sa may Hagubiaw, Mandawi City. Aduna kitay programa kaniadto miluntad ug upat ka tuig ang kasayuran federalismo. Then dayon sa DYPC nahimo kitang anchorman ug gisalig usab kita ni Dr. Paulos Maril Cañete. Then by 2015, late 2015, mi-eskwela kita sa Mandawi City College until nahuman gyud nato ang atong Bachelor of Arts in Mass Communication. Series of cardiac arrest mga higala nga atong nasinati, ikawalo na kini sa miaging Abril 2022, and we're able to survive out of this life-threatening nga sitwasyon.
Coach Boy Luego.
Antod miabot ang pandemic kung COVID-19, nasira ang atong DYPC ug nagtukod kita niining atong kaugalingon nga baruganan live stream radio,
Coach Boy Luego.
Idol.
usa ka internet live radio station ang atong baruganan news and public affairs mga higala ug ang atong matag Sabado ang atong mga panid sa kamatuoran. Atol sa maong pandemic mga higala, nasaan kita dito sa may Tabugo, nag-cover kita isip mga frontliners. O dito atong nabulgar ang mga korupsyon, pangabuso sa barangay Kamubuan. Dito first time ta mga higala nga gipatawag kita Abril 6, 2020 sa exclusive Barangay Council Executive Meeting. Dito gilabo-labuhan kita ga interview o interrogate kabahin lagi sa atong expose nga illegal poultry farm duol gyud sa beach o sa pang-abuso labi na gyud pagpanghatag niadtong ayuda sa gobyerno 5 ka kilong bugas o usa ka sunrox o usa ka sabon. Atong ipangutana kung masud-an ba ang maong sabon ug sunrox ubos sa pagdumala ni barangay kapitan Manluluyo, Gina Manluluyo ug ang iyang bana nga si Binbinido Manluluyo nga maoy gika-report nga maoy mag kapitan ug ato manang na sinati panahon sa interrogation nga siya ay maoy may preside sa executive council sa barangay ug panghulga matod pa nga ihulog ta karon sa barangay hall o niya himuan ka og persona non grata tuod man ang persona non grata na pasar isip resolution sa maong barangay tungod kay naundang man ang ilang pagpanguwarta. Sa atong pagpaningkamot nakapalit kita og yuta tungod lagi sa atong real estate nga kasinatian. Atong higala usab diri sa B&G usa ka major batalya ang mipalit og yuta dito sa Tabugon duol sa mga beach resort. Ug ang akong komisyon mao tong 56 square meter nga ato ang taong gibalayan. Dinala lang ko ito magigala ang atong Sugilambong, Sugilanon o usa ka true to life biography ni Domingo A. Luigo alias Boy Luigo.
Coach Boy Luego.
Idol.
Ako hindi record mga higala kay hilibang taasa daghan man mga pages. This will be rotten kaning mga papel mahanaw man lang kini pero kani akong record ako yan ang ipaabot sa akong mga anak o sa akong mga mga higala. Ako ning gihimo with in good health, sound mind, pizza 15 sa bulan sa Hunyo tuig 2022 at usab sa adlaw na tawhan ni Rafaelito Dundon Luigo. Nakabsa na magitag oras, ato na lang himuan og extra.
Kung ikaw may baruganan, ligon o prinsipyo, apan ang taong mapasagaron, mo'y makapukan sa kagawasan hangtod sa sunod higayon.